Hey y'all, welcome back. Today is Monday. You guys, we are in the final countdown of our school year. We only have about a month left, and I'm like not even gonna pretend like my classroom is not full of all the piles of all the things right now. Like, this is just total normal life, and we are officially in that spring survival mode. We are wrapping up our shape unit, teaching 2D and 3D shapes. And I want to show you, I didn't even plan on showing this to you, but they're just laying right here, and I want to share our shape emojis that we made. So my kids, they got to pick a 2D shape. What I did was I had all of our shapes printed out onto yellow paper, and I laid them face down on the rug. I let them come up and pick a shape. They didn't know what shape they were getting. And some were really excited about the shape they got, and then others were like, oh, I didn't want that one. So once everyone had picked, I gave them one chance. They could go and they could swap out their shape if they wanted to, but whatever shape they got the second time is what they were stuck with. But they created their shape emojis. They got to pick what shape they wanted for the eyes. So they got to pick either squares, rectangles, circles, hexagons, all the things. Look at that one. Then they had to identify and write the attributes about their shape emoji. I just think they turned out so cute. Look at that one. I'm gonna hang these up on our scrapbooks that I gave my kids at the end of the year. If you're interested in learning about that, I have a video all about it. I'll drop the link in the description, but look at that one. He wanted to make it a mean or a angry emoji. How cute are those? This is the example one that I showed them, but they had to write the name of their emoji body and the shape name of their eyes, and they had to identify the number of sides and vertices that their shape body and the eyes had. Then they had to put it in a sentence form. So like this one says, my shape is a trapezoid and a quadrilateral. It has hexagon eyes with 6 sides and 6 vertices. Love it. I just think they're so cute. I love a good math craft. But that's actually not what I want to talk to you about today. Today we're going to talk about math warm-ups. Do you ever feel like your math block starts off a little slow, or maybe your students need a little brain boost before diving into a lesson? Because today I've got a no prep math warm-up that's gonna get your students thinking and excited. And honestly, right now, my class loves it. Today I'm gonna share one of my top go-to activities, and it is called number webs. Before we jump into what a number web is, let's talk about why a math warm-up is even a good idea or why they matter. A good warm-up is like a stretch before a workout. It's gonna get your students' minds moving. It's gonna help them shift into math mode and build confidence. Plus, what I love about warm-ups is it allows me and gives me a chance to spiral review those past skills without creating a whole lesson plan to catch up. And you can address or catch misconceptions early on, and you just give kids a chance to be successful right off the bat. It just sets the tone for our whole math block. And our favorite math warm-up that we're doing right now is called number webs. A number web is a simple, no prep activity that your kids can do in a couple of minutes. All they're gonna need is their math journal. They can have a blank piece of paper, a whiteboard. They don't need anything to do this activity. Let me show you how it works. You're gonna have them in their journal, or like I said, on a whiteboard. You're gonna have them start out and write the numbers 1 through 10 randomly all over a blank piece of paper. If you wanted to differentiate, you could have your numbers go to 20. If you wanted to practice adding or subtracting multi-digit numbers, you could absolutely make your numbers go higher. I'm just showing you this example for basic fact fluency. This can also work with multiplication as well, but we are currently using it to review basic addition and subtraction. So they're going to write the numbers 1 through 10 all over their piece of paper. And what they're going to do is they are going to create a web of numbers to add and subtract. So let's say I tell them, okay, you can start anywhere. Maybe sometimes I might have them start with the number 1. That is completely up to you. They're going to start creating their number webs. I'm going to start here with the number 2. I'm going to draw a line from the number 2 to any other number I can draw a line to. So for example, I can draw a line from 2 to 8. And if we're practicing addition, on that line, I would write 2. I'm trying to do this one hand. Trying to write this here. 2 plus 8 equals 10. Then I can also draw a line from the 2 to the 6. On that line, I can write 2 plus 6 equals 8. I can draw a line from the 2 to the 1. From here, I can write 2 plus 1 equals 3. I can write 3 plus 2 equals 5. I can keep going. I can do 2 plus 4, 2 plus 5, 2 plus 9, 2 plus 10, wherever they can draw a line to connect. Once they do that, then they can go and they can pick a number to start with. So here I can do 3 plus 1 equals 4. Eventually, as they go, they are going to create a giant web of either addition or subtraction facts. The only thing I tell is when they draw a line, they can't draw a line through a number to get through another number. For example, here, I wouldn't do 4 plus 7 because I would have to draw a line straight through the 5 or the 8, and I want it to be a web. I don't want any curvy lines. I want it to be straight lines. That's really the only thing that I tell them. I set the timer for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, however long you want to, and I say go, and they start to create their own number web with the addition facts that they can create using the numbers that they wrote on their journal, and they absolutely love it. My kids, they asked to play every single day last week. They thought that it was so fun. You could switch this up. You could do addition. You could do subtraction. Like I said, you could even do this with multi-digit numbers. It's very simple. It's a low prep, and you don't need anything. Because my students have loved this activity so much, I decided to create some pre-made versions like this one that are ready to print and use. I've made several sets and I've added them to the Inner Circle Math membership. All you need to do is just print them, slip them into a dry erase sleeve, hand out a marker, and you're set. They're perfect to grab when you need something meaningful for extra practice. You can throw them in a math station. You can use them for early finishers. Now, if you're new around here, the Inner Circle is my all-access pass to every math resource I've ever created for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. That includes the math web boards that I just mentioned, plus other small group lessons, centers, assessments, exit tickets, you name it. If you're interested in checking that out, I will drop the link in the description. I really hope that you will give number webs a try in your classroom this week. I would love to know what you think. Leave me a comment and let me know, are you going to try them out? Have you ever used something similar before? One last thing, I wanted to give another reminder. If you are interested in some summer PD coming up, I am a part of the Educator Summit Virtual Conference again this summer. My session is all about data-driven decisions for your small group math instruction. I'm so excited. This is my 3rd summer participating in the virtual conference. It's completely online. You can check out some amazing PD while hanging out by the pool and earn PD credit and even college credit too. I am going to link that description if you want to grab a virtual ticket to that event coming up. It is going to take place in June. If you have any questions, as always, let me know. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.